What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. We are back again. It is Friday the 5th of July. We have a new Prime Minister here in England, in the UK, ladies and gentlemen. Keir Starmer. He's an Arsenal fan. He is an Arsenal fan, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. So every Arsenal fan should be excited for this one. We are going to be looking at all the latest news surrounding Arsenal Football Club, as we usually do. There is some fraudulent activities taking place. Shocking asking prices we're going to be looking at. One of our female ladies have left and joined Man City. She snaked us. Miedema snaked us and went to Man City. Free agent as well. I don't know what's going on there. Who decided to let that one happen? Very, very questionable. We've got a lot to actually get through. We've got Calafiori on a private jet flying over to London as we speak, ladies and gentlemen. It is a done deal, done and dusted, signed, sealed, and delivered. Yeah, Ricardo Calafiori will be an Arsenal player, ladies and gentlemen. So let me know how you're feeling about that one. Edu has finally woken up out of the coma and he has signed a player. He has signed a player, and who is going to be following in the footsteps of Ricardo Calafiori? We're going to be finding out. We're going to be looking at every single report available online, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. Fasten your seatbelt. Hit that like button. Order that. We appreciate every single one of you. Moving into the weekend, of course, Euros is back. We've got some hectic games. Hectic games, some exciting games. Yeah, exciting games back again today. Big up Miss Amina in the building. We've got J Dub in the building, PTM in the building, Lionhearts in the building. We've got Robin in the building, Sack of the Goats in the building, Peppermint Freedom. We appreciate you, brother. Big up Wayne Hennessy as well. Big up Spreewell. Big up Mr. Robbo. Big up my guy Youth First in the building, Ace 12. Big up all the guys joining, man. Big up all the guys. We got Yadev. Come on. Yadev. My guy. Come on, hit the like button. We've got a lot to actually talk about. Interesting times for Arsenal Football Club. Edu has woken up. Big up the assembled. Big up the assembled. I see you. It's good to see you back on the channel, my guy. So we'll start with this one. David Raya has officially been done. His announcement video was put out yesterday by Arsenal. You know, it wasn't anything special. We obviously know David Raya was going to sign for Arsenal on a permanent deal. £27 million has been officially paid. Brentford have announced it. Arsenal have announced it. David Raya joins on a permanent deal. Okay. So that's interesting. We are still looking at another goalkeeper, looking at the guy Lunin at Real Madrid. We're also looking at the other guy that plays for Espanyol, Mr. Garcia. There's a few players that we are looking at to come in and be that plan B. But a lot of the reports are suggesting that Arsenal are going to spend, David Raya money on a plan B. How much money does Arsenal have? We've overcome that, June 30th periods. We're in a new financial quarter for all football clubs. And I want to know how much money Arsenal have got to spend. Do they have this £200 million war chest? Or, are they still having to sell players? Is that still a focus? We spoke about Nuno Tavares yesterday. We spoke about Lokonga yesterday. They're two players that look like they're on the verge of leaving. Well, we say on the verge. Lokonga does look like it's about to happen. That should be, here we go, any moment now. Nuno Tavares, slight different story. Ajax looking at him, and various other clubs as well looking at Nuno Tavares. Teams in Italy looking at Nuno Tavares. We've actually got some interesting transfer rumors as well. Juventus have actually put their player Chiesa on the transfer list for 25 million euros. In fact, what we'll do before we actually dive into the Arsenal news is we'll run through some of the latest transfers, some of the latest rumors with all football clubs. But the latest one, the big one, I swear that I tagged Arsenal on Instagram on this. And I didn't tag Edu. I should have tagged Edu, but I put Edu's name in it. We need to be all over the Federico Chiesa deal. If Juventus are ready to sell Federico Chiesa for 25 million euros, then we need to be all over this one. And the reports are suggesting that is the case. Fabrizio Romano has put the information out this morning on his Instagram. He has confirmed that this player is available for 25,000. That'll be crazy. 25 million. 25 million smackaroonies for this Don. Yeah. Whew, that is a bargain. Absolute bargain. Let me just quickly find Fabrizio Romano. 1 second, guys. Make sure we are hitting up the likes. Come on. Hit up the likes, hit up the likes, hit up the likes. Okay, let's go to Instagram. Fabrizio Romano on Instagram. Breaking news. Juventus are planning to sell Federico Chiesa for a total fee of around 25 million euros, which in fact it's probably about 19 to 20 million pounds, bro. Whoa, what is going on in this market? Obviously, Thiago Motta, according to the reports, doesn't really favor me. He's not a part of the plans. So they're just looking to cash in. I'm surprised, sorry, that they're not trying to get more money than 25 million euros. Are they that desperate to just cash in? I don't know. I really don't know what the kind of situation is, but this would be an amazing signing for Arsenal. We are looking at a central midfielder, a person that can play as an 8, a person that can play as a 10. Federico Chiesa fits the description. He is someone that can come in and rotate with Odegaard. He's someone that also can play on the right. You know, you can put him on the right-hand side to give him a bit Saka a run for his money if needs be, but he's definitely more of a central player. And, you know, put him in an 8 with Odegaard. Woof. The patterns that could be created in those central spaces are going to be off the charts, ladies and gentlemen. 25 million is nothing, exactly. He's injury prone, Wax, no thanks. Manu Kone, Fofana, Neto, Chiesa, Dufbik, Milenkovic, they're all cheap right now. This is crazy. Like, you can literally rebuild a team with 100 million pounds right now. We got my guy Joseph. He said would be an amazing signing. Mr. Robbo says, isn't Chiesa in the same boat as Neto as being a hella injury prone? Well, I know he had, you know, an injury, I think it was, a serious injury that kept him out for a number of months. But since then, I haven't heard much about any serious injuries, maybe little knocks and here, there and everywhere, but, you know, nothing too serious, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe he's overcome that. We can look at his injury record if you like, but, yeah. We'll see. Xavi Simons as well, ladies and gentlemen. Xavi Simons and Mikel Arteta have spoken on the phone, according to reports that are coming out today. There was a publication being published by the Arsenal Insider that have indicated that Arsenal, or that Mikel Arteta and Xavi Simons have spoken personally over the phone. So we're going to get to that. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Fasten your seatbelts. We've got a lot to actually run through. But this Chiesa one is extremely interesting. And hopefully Arsenal, you know, try and have a conversation about it, see if we can get a deal done. Maybe the injury record could be a stumbling block, but hopefully he's overcome that, because based on the qualities of the player, he's going to cook. He will come over and be hot point. Yeah, hot point cookers. Okay. Romelu Lukaku wants to reunite with Napoli boss Antonio Conte this summer, according to Corriere dello Sport. We've got Lenny Yoro wants to move to Real Madrid. The 18-year-old is waiting for clubs to agree a deal. Liverpool and PSG are ready to pounce if a deal collapses. Literally, Real Madrid on every single young player at this moment in time. No Diddy. Leno Yoro, a French centre-back, incredible. I think he's about 19, 20. Really good player. You know, I've done the eye test, you know, on a few occasions. Someone that's got bags of potential. So let's see what happens with that one. You got João Felix wants to return to Barcelona this summer, but the only problem is for Barcelona is they don't have any money. They released João Felix and they released, João Cancelo, sent them back to their clubs. Of course, they were on loan. They wanted to keep him, but the finances, it's a bit sticky. It is a bit sticky for Barcelona, so they're not able to keep João Neves or João Cancelo and João Felix, sorry. Therefore, they have to move to other clubs. João Felix, in fact, is actually in talks with Benfica, could potentially find himself back at his boyhood club at Benfica, only leaving them 5 years ago for astronomical money, and they could be getting him for about 12 million pounds. Can you imagine? They finessed Atletico Madrid, and 5 years later, they're going to end up getting him back for 12 million pounds. That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. What's going on in the world of transfers at the moment? What else is going on? Mark Cucurella says he is trying to convince Nico Williams to join Chelsea with the pair in the Spain squad together at the Euros 2024. Now, we do know Arsenal have been interested in Nico Williams for whatever reason. We haven't kind of pushed for it. He's got a 45 million release clause. That's £1 million. I think it's about 55 million euros, but it's about 45 million pounds release clause in his contract. You know, he's been turning up at the Euros, been, doing up some numbers, looking like a skillful player. Someone that I would love to see at Arsenal Football Club, but it remains to be seen whether Edu and Arteta feel the same way. They've had him on the agenda, but we haven't pulled the trigger. According to the latest reports surrounding Nico Williams, though, ladies and gentlemen, is that his priority is to join Barcelona. That's exactly where he wants to go. So that's the stumbling block. Obviously, the stumbling block for him is that Barcelona don't have money, but some of the reports coming out in Spain, published by Sport and those fraudulent publications there, are indicating that Barcelona will find a way to pull a lever and get that deal done. So it remains to be seen. Let's see what happens. The Gazetta are publishing that Ricardo Calafiori will sign for Arsenal. That is a done deal, ladies and gentlemen. We will get there. Don't go anywhere. Federico price tag, 25 million. It's absolutely crazy. Eric Ten Hag retains the final say on all Manchester United transfers, despite the arrivals of Dan Ashworth and Jason Wilcox to head up their recruitment team. We do know Ten Hag has just signed a new contract or an extension on his current contract, which keeps him there until 2026. And to a degree, I think it's a sensible move by Manchester United. He has won 2 trophies back to back. Hasn't really had a great domestic campaign in his second season, but that can improve, especially with significant quality coming in. The Manchester United team are all over the place. As a neutral, you can say that. You can be real. That team is absolutely disgustingly dead. It needs a massive, massive rebuild. And I think that's what Sir Jim Ratcliffe's going to do. He's going to try it off with Ten Hag. And see how it goes. We were reading reports a little while ago to suggest that Manchester United weren't going to have, or Ten Hag wasn't going to have that much say over transfers, but the operation has slightly tweaked, and therefore he will be having the final say on what's going on at Manchester United with the transfers. Moving on, Mo Salah has turned down the chance to sign for Olympic Games with Egypt and will instead be back at Liverpool for pre-season. Manchester United again remain the favourites to sign Joshua Zirkzee. Ten Hag is calling him personally almost every day to get a deal done. AC Milan will only come back in for the striker if his agent lowers the demands. And that's according to Fabrizio Romano. We've got Manchester United again closing in on a 16-year-old Slovakian wonder kid, Samuel Lusau from Crystal Palace. He's Slovakian and he's black. I thought that was a predominantly white country, right? What they would say England's to say, but it's a multicultural country now, I guess. Anyway, they're signing this guy, 16-year-old guy from Crystal Palace. Flamengo initiated contacts with West Ham to sign Lucas Paqueta. That is kind of hit a brick wall. West Ham want permanent transfer. Flamengo only want to loan the player. Manchester City are braced for a bid from Saudi Arabian club or for Saudi Arabia for Edison. As we do know, there's an agreement in place to sign the player. The player is open to joining a Saudi Arabian club. I'm not too sure who it is. Al Nazir, it says here. Al Nazir. And they're ready to put a £30 million bid down on the table. So it does look like Man City could be losing their number one goalkeeper. They lose him. They sell Kevin De Bruyne. Rodri gets injured. And so does Haaland. And I think Man City are done for. Can they replace those players? Remains to be seen. I don't know who Man City are linked with at the moment, but I'm sure they'll pull something out the bag. Marseille are confident of outbidding Lazio to sign Mason Greenwood after the Syria side offered 17 million to Manchester United forward. And the last thing we'll do here is Brighton get a here we go from Matt Wafer. He's a player, £30 million, signed from a team over in Holland, I believe. Feyenoord, I think it's Feyenoord. But yeah. So couple transfers there for the gang. Couple of transfers. We're going to be moving on to Arsenal. There's not much else to really discuss. And if I do see anything that's worth talking about, then we will discuss it. We've got another 45 minutes until we end this stream. So make sure we hit the like button, do subscribe, all of that. Big up all the people that are locked in. Big up here to there as well. Big up the non-Arsenal fans that are in the building, but big up all the Arsenal fans. Come on. All right, what we got going on in this chat? Big up Ghost. He says defense is going to be a force and in the cup next season. I don't know what you're saying there. Predictions: France v Portugal. Oh, that's going to be an interesting game. I did want to talk about the Euros and the games that are playing today. Actually, let's quickly switch over here. What we got going on? So we got Portugal and France, 8 o'clock kickoff, and then Spain and Germany. Blood, what a day. What a day. Hey, what a day. What a day. What an afternoon. What an evening. It's Friday. Yeah. Come on. Big up the gang anyway. So, yeah, Portugal and France. That's going to be an interesting one. Spain and Germany. That's going to be close. Going to be tight. Are we going to see goals galore? Are all 4 teams just going to go for it? Like, is it going to be end to ends. Like, what are we going to get from these games? The Euros hasn't been that great. We haven't really seen much. Netherlands turned up the other day. A few teams have been turning up, but we haven't really seen massive amount of fireworks. Are we going to see that this evening, ladies and gentlemen? My money's on Spain and my money's on France. I do expect that to be the kind of final. If I am to predict the winner of the Euros, I want to go with Spain, France, bro. I cannot, not Spain. No. Sorry, Spain. We got to go with France, but Big William Saliba has to come home with the Euros, bro. Big William Saliba has to come home with the Euros, bro. No. Big up Paul B. Wizzy in the building. Come on, it's Friday. It is Friday. Big up my guy Abdullah. Big up Sergio. Come on, big up all the guys that are joining. We appreciate every single one of you. Keep hitting that like button. Make sure you're sharing the video and you are subscribing. Also, subscribe to the Wax Unfiltered channel as well. New content dropping over this weekend. In fact, I'll give you... we're actually going to be reacting to the Jay Slater. This Jay Slater situation, this investigation that's been taking place. I've got a crazy video that I'm going to be reacting to on that. So make sure you subscribe to the Wax Unfiltered channel. And that's going to be released probably on Sunday. So make sure you check that shit out, mate. And more conspiracies as well. It's crazy. That channel's going to bang soon. Especially with more consistency. Anyway, let's move over to Arsenal. What's Arsenal telling us? What's Edu doing? Is Edu cooking? No, Edu ain't cooking. Actually, let me tell you why Edu ain't cooking. Edu's taking losses. Edu's out here taking losses, ladies and gentlemen. How is Edu taking losses? Why do we always wake up to hear a story whereby Edu is willing to take losses? I don't know. How is he going to make up for these losses? Where does he make up for these losses? Yeah, I just don't get it. Lokonga, loss. It's a loss. We understand that's a loss, right? We're not going to go there. We're not going to dwell on that. We understand. If you were there to hear it, you remember what we said. It's a loss. But here, we're being told that Edu is open to selling Kiwior for £12 million. Bro, we need a new DOF. We need a new SOF. We need, bro, Edu, come on. I know this Calafiori deal is kind of, I don't know. Keeping your head above water right now, bro. It's just about it's not even keeping your head above water, bro. Realistically, it's not. But it's just about, man. It's literally just about. If this is true, ladies and gentlemen, we have to have serious words with Edu Gaspar, because this is a joke. We're being told by someone that's, always, putting information out there about Arsenal transfers. He basically says reports in Italy state that Arsenal only wants 12.7 million for Jakub Kiwior, and Juventus are keen. Bro, we paid 20 million for this guy a year and a half ago. And you're telling me that we're willing to sell him. Now, obviously, we can't trust. Willing to sell him for 12 million. I don't mind selling him, but 12 million, we can't trust the fact that it's coming out of Italy, right? Italy are really fraudulent with their publications. But if this is true, Edu, oh, man. Please, we need to sack him. Sack him. Sorry. Sorry. No, we can't have it, guys. You blame Edu about who hired him. Listen, I understand that. Bro. But we're talking about the guy that's doing the job, and the guy that's doing the job isn't obviously capable of doing the job. Doesn't seem like it anyway. Still got a couple of weeks to, turn us around. No, did he? But it's not looking good. You talk about the people that employed him. Listen, the people that employed him for a reason. They employed him because he was an invincible. We're trying to change the culture. We're trying to do X, Y, and Z, right? This is a guy that has been an Arsenal player, was an Arsenal invincible, should understand the value of Arsenal Football Club and the core values that Arsene Wenger instilled into this football club. Therefore, it would make sense to kind of bring him back to the club. That's the thinking behind it. I get it. I understand why KSE have brought this guy to the club. If they continue to keep this guy employed after the back of making these awful, incompetent decisions, then I will start questioning them. At this moment in time, all the termination of contracts and all those things, yes, I will definitely deem that as incompetent. But KSE allowed that. There was a leeway to have that all terminated because the plan was to revamp the team. And the only way we could do it was by terminating contracts. That's how they saw it. Okay. If that's what KSC decided to let slide, they decided to let that slide. Me personally, I'll have never have done that. I would have never have let that slide. I want money for my players. Don't tell me you can't sell a Aubameyang. Don't tell me you can't sell Lacazette. Don't tell me you can't sell Guendouzi and these man for more money. Doesn't make any sense to me, right? However, them man let that slide. Them man let that slide. So now we continue to put the pressure on. We look at every single decision. We scrutinize every single decision. And we have to hope that the owners are doing exactly the same thing, because if they're not, it could be detrimental to the future of the football club. And that's exactly that. We can look at the performance data. The performance data tells us, no, wax, we're on an uphill trajectory. Everything is going well. Don't worry about X, Y, and Z. But no. When it comes to business, you have to worry about X, Y, and Z, because if Edu ain't selling, then Edu is putting his project under mad amounts of pressure. And what that means is that Arteta won't get players that he wants to get. Okay? It means that the budget gets smaller, it shrinks, okay? Which inevitably should mean or lead to the owner saying, you're sacked, P45. Okay? So Edu needs to really step up. He needs to start coughing up money for players. And this right here, Kiwior and Lokonga, just doesn't sit well with me. Doesn't sit right. Maybe he's got a plan to make up this money. Remember, if we sell Kiwior for 17 million, and we sell Lokonga for 13 mil. We've taken losses on both of those signings. Facts, yeah? However, Edu might have a plan whereby he sells Eddie Nketiah for £50 million. If he does that, then that kind of balances things out. That balances things out. But you still would have to question those decisions of not being able to make an ROI off one of your players. Your player, yeah? You have to turn to an Arsene Wenger player to bow you out. That's what you're basically doing. If you can't sell your own player that you bought to the club for more money than you bought him for, and then you have to turn to Eddie Nketiah or Reece Nelson to sell them for more money, then you're basically saying that Arsene Wenger's project is still bailing you out till this day. That is crazy. We've moved on 7 years from Arsene Wenger's project. 7 years. But you're telling me the finances from his players are going to bail us out from the incompetent decisions that this current sporting director made. Interesting. Anyway, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Anyway, Lazio have made an inquiry. That's the Italian club that were interested in Nuno Tavares, as I mentioned. Lazio have made an inquiry about Nuno Tavares. They can only afford a loan, though. This is where Edu's expertise comes into play. Because can Edu get money for Nuno Tavares, or are we going to get finessed with another loan? If we get finessed with another loan, ladies and gentlemen, it does mean that Nuno Tavares will leave the football club for free. And if Nuno Tavares leaves the football club for free, then what does that mean? Another loss. This is becoming fun, right? We're making losses, yeah? Losses, okay? So this is going to be interesting to see what happens here. Can Edu convince Lazio to put money on the table for Nuno, or can he convince another club to come in and sign him? Maybe we could convince Benfica to come back in for him. I doubt that will happen. You know, they were laughing. They were laughing with that 7 million to the bank, yeah, when they sold Nuno Tavares to Arsenal. It was interesting. Big up my guy Miggs in the building. I see you, broski. Definitely due to link up this weekend. Come on. Big up my guy Abdullah as well. He says, how much did we pay for him? Wasn't it £7 million? It was £7 million, of course. You expect for an investment of £7 million for there to be an ROI. There is no way you're spending 7 million and taking losses. It would be a bit different if you spent 40 million like Fabio Vieira as an example. You know, it might be questionable based on what Fabio Vieira has done at Arsenal and the value that he has kind of, he ain't going to go for much money. You probably struggle to break even with Fabio Vieira. You know, them way there, you struggle. But with a £7 million signing, you can only expect and assume an ROI, even if the player doesn't work out. Come on, this is Arsenal we're talking about. We signed him. You know, you would expect more than the money we paid for him, even if it's 1 million, 2 million. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's see what happens. Let's see how Edu can, sort this out, manage this, because it's going to be interesting for him. Absolutely. Anyway, let's move on from this. This kind of upset me as well, seeing this one. You know, Miedema leaving and joining Man City on a free transfer, man. A free transfer literally 2 years ago. I know she's been ill recently. About a year ago, she was ill, or kind of like since C19. She hasn't really been the same type of player, but she definitely was the main star player of the ladies. The main star player of the ladies. We've done the same thing about 2 years ago, man. We sold Paris to Manchester United. You know, I was thinking, why did we do that? Like, she's one of our best players, and we're selling her to Manchester United for shekels. Do you know what I mean? And now we've let one of our females go for nothing, bruv. I'm starting to look at whoever's calling these shots. Is Edu calling the shots for this one as well? I'm sure Edu isn't doing the females as well. Nah. He can't be dealing with the females. But then whoever's dealing with the females is showing me a strong level of incompetence as well, because this is a star player, was a star player, been a star player, been top goal scorer, all of that, and you've let the person go for free. And they've gone to Man City, blood, yeah, who are also building their women's team. Come on, man, makes no sense. She looks like a geezer. Oh, no. Big up Miedema. She looks like Odegaard, bro. I think that's Odegaard's sister. It's like they're related still. Big up Zeke. He says, big up Wax and the gang. We are going to announce a signing before the end of the Euros, or do we have to wait for more PR excuses? Kiss my teeth. I think we will probably announce Calafiori very, very soon, over maybe by Monday, Tuesday, probably. I'm hoping so. Anyway, some sort of video should be announced. Maybe they might send someone over to Calafiori's house, like they did with Kai Havertz with the parcel. You know, they sent the Arsenal parcel all the way to his house. Person jumps on a plane, went over to Germany, was sitting with him. It was crazy. I don't think it was his house, but I don't know where he was. He was over in Germany somewhere. This hurts me, man. She had an ACL, but they signed Alessia Rosso. Alessia Rosso is a bad girl baller. Yeah, she is. I mean, if that's been the replacement and that's the reason why, then so be it. And who's the other one? Black Steiners, a new deal. So they had to let her go. Okay, so I mean, it's based on the new signings that these lot made. We obviously signed the thing from Barcelona as well. She was one of Barcelona's best players. I'm not too sure if she's a striker. Is she a striker or is she a winger? I'm pretty sure she's a winger. Forgot her name though already. Look at that. Marisa. I think it's Marisa. That's her first name. Don't know about the surname. But yeah, interesting, man. I want to know who's calling the shots for the ladies as well, man, because you have to make money. You have to be making money. You can't let assets run contracts down and let them walk for free, and they're walking into your rivals, blood. Makes no sense. The best sporting director, they said, Edu is just a bum. It's mad, isn't it? He got the award for best sporting director for doing what? He hasn't even made a sell. Yeah, that's crazy. Big up James. He says, big up Wax talking facts. The man Eddie needs a win soon. DOFs are meant to unearth gems, not this losing money nonsense. Exactly. We're just wasting money under this project with Edu. You know what I mean? So anyway, Miedema, she's left. She's gone to Man City, the snake. So big her up anyway. She served the club. She did serve the club well. Won the Premier League with the girls and all of that. So got to give her some credit. All right, we're going to move on to Mikel Arteta and what he's been saying in the press. Here we go. I found Edu. This is an old picture about a week ago. Edu was cooking a barbecue for Father's Day. So for anyone that doesn't know, this is a Father's Day picture. This isn't new or that new anyway, but it's a Father's Day picture of Edu with big, massive lamb chops. Them lamb chops or beef chops, whatever they are, they look delicious, bro. Oh no, it's Friday. I think I'm gonna have a lamb chop day today, but Edu's just inspired me. He has literally just inspired me. But Mikel Arteta has been talking. He had an interview yesterday. After we done our stream, he had an interview. Here's the interview. I might have to stop this. Let's reshare it just so we can hear what Mikel Arteta had to say. And there's various different quotes taken from the overall interview about our transfer window and what Mikel Arteta expects. So this is interesting. Make sure we are hitting the like button, do subscribe, all of that. Don't go anywhere. Fasten your seatbelts. Pick up all the new and real ones in the building. I see ya. Let's listen to this. Let's hear what Mikel Arteta has to say. It looks like he's living life though, bro. I need to go on holiday. Yeah. No, I've got it on the screen. How dumb am I? How dumb am I? Put this on the screen then, bro. How many times I have to
and I think we understand where those margins are. We've been
all right, stop. I think we need Arteta's process for this computer, bro, because it's just not working. How many times I have to pause you? I have to ask you to stop. You don't want to stop. Anyway, let's pull this up. I didn't even have it on the screen, and I'm halfway through it, like 23 seconds in, and we've lost about 20% of the viewers.
When you are analytical and you gather all the stats and everything that the team has done over the past 11 months in the Premier League, we should have won it.
Facts.
That's what
we should have won it.
Now,
let's just pause it for 1 minute.
Something that is there. That
work, man. Come on, bro, man. Stop it. Allow me, bro. You see, like, I get so frustrated with these type of things. When, you know, you got technology, alien technology in my hands, and it's moving like it's from the 1960s. Allow it, bro. All right? You know what I'm asking you to do. Stop. Come on. Anyway, so we've got to just quickly pause there for 1 minute. Mikel Arteta said, looking at the data, looking at the statistics, you know, if you analyze that, he said, we should have won the league. We should have won the league. What happened then? Why didn't we win the league? What happened? Why didn't we win the league? I know we're going to say Man City. You know, it's crazy, man. It's like the smallest margins, isn't it? That smallest, tiniest margins. For me, it just boils back to the Aston Villa game. Both Aston Villa games. Ex-manager come in and slap man. It's crazy. Ex-manager come in and said, you know what? You man ain't winning the Premier League. Well, you man think you're going to win the Premier League? Are you mad? Are you mad? After what you man done to me, you think you're going to win the Premier League? Okay. And then slapped us. We couldn't even score a goal past them. Our ex-goalkeeper as well couldn't even get a goal past him. Bloody hell. That is what prevented us from winning the league. The very small margins. But then you think about it, you know, that is a sackable offence. I have to be totally honest. Like, that right there is a sackable offence, losing to Aston Villa. Obviously, you can look at that. You can look at the Fulham game and various others, but that right there is the sackable offence, bro. Anyway, let's get back into this, man. Let's get back into this.
And manage as well as Man City or the clubs in the past, and I think we understand where those margins are. We've been really consistent now in the last 24 months in terms of performance and the levels that we want to hit. But those margins are super small. One thing is to get to the 90% that we want, and actually that 10%, 5%, 1% is what defines success and winning major trophies. And
he has a point.
And now we have to continue to do all the right things that we are doing and just get and nail those small margins that are going to be able to win the tournaments. We need that pain and that hunger to achieve what we want to achieve.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's not, you can't disagree with what Mikel Arteta was saying there, bro. You do want the hunger, the pain, you know, you want to go through those moments of, oh my God, how did we not make that happen? I can't believe it. We went through a whole season and we just didn't win the Premier League, but last game of the season, like, that's pain. That is pain. Like, can you imagine a whole year? Like, we know, come on, we don't need to sit here and patronize Dons, bro. We know how it feels, bro. So, like, you kind of want that from the players. You want the players to go into the next season with that pain, with that hunger to show, man, that we actually mean business. That's exactly what that is, right? But Mr. Arteta, you know, even though you have started to improve, you have started to prove many doubters wrong, including myself, that, you know, you can kind of swing with the big boys and you can kind of go, you know, toe to toe with teams like Man City. You know, we need you and Edu to now come together and make those right decisions. Now, these are decisions that we've been talking about. We've been scrutinizing over the past couple of weeks, past couple of months, years, in fact. But, you know, really kind of honed in on it this kind of couple of weeks, whereby we're putting pressure on. We're letting these guys know that this is the season. This is the season where you need to deliver. This is the season where Edu needs to, you know, bring the players at the bag, as well as, you know, sell a bunch of players. We can't, you know, it can't be any longer than this season. It has to be this season, you know. And Mikel Arteta here kind of pointing out the fact that he needs to obviously continue to get the players to play to that level and kind of close the gap. You know, it could be that 5%, that 1%. That is the success that we're trying to aim for. And we have to kind of put all the right pieces into play, shall I say, in order to kind of achieve that. But that starts now, doesn't it? Doesn't it, guys? That starts now. So now you understand why I put the pressure on Edu, because Edu's decisions and what he decides that is right or not right for the football club can be detrimental. And if he's not making the right decisions, then Mikel Arteta is going to suffer. We're going to suffer, but ultimately Arsenal will suffer. You know, then way there. Wax, I hear what you're saying, but overall, Arteta has still yet to prove me wrong. Where's the league title and European trophies? The fact he is still here, it's beyond disgraceful. Now, I hear what you're saying, and if I was to have my way, Static, you know what I would do? The manager would be gone. The manager would be gone. Now, the reason I've said one more season for the manager, for one, is because all the people that were against us in our process, what we wanted for our football club, have now finally caught up. They're finally now caught up. You can't go anywhere. I've chopped your knees. You're on your knees. I've chopped you down to the fact that you're on your fucking knees begging. Where can you go? What else can you say? There is nothing more you can do other than say, you know what? Manager needs to go because this is the expectation. Do you understand? That is what it's at. However, at the same time, we still have to be real. We still have to be realistic about what Arsenal have done over the past 24 months. Forget what we've done prior to that because that was disgusting. And on that basis, sack him. Now, what I was saying to Yardman the other day, and I don't think Yardman was getting it, right, is that we as fans have our expectations of Arsenal Football Club and what we want. And we have our expectations of this project, right? But then so do Arsenal. And we don't know if our expectations as fans actually align with the expectations of the football club. Now, I told you, based on the research that I've done, Arsenal expect to win the Premier League by the year 2027. We're in 2024, bro. That's another 2.5 years. 3 years, if you think about it. If you're counting seasons, that's another 3 seasons, bro. So if that's their expectation, not to say who are we, but what can we do or what can we say that's going to change that? Nothing. Because they've looked at all the data. They've looked at everything that they need to look at to then come to that determination. They have said, we expect Arsenal to win the Premier League by the year 2027. So if that's the case, bro, this manager ain't going anywhere anytime soon. It's not going anywhere. So the point being is that we've got our expectations and Arsenal have their own expectations. Do you understand? As a fan of the football club, you kind of want to get behind or should get behind those expectations. It just depends on how you feel and how you see it. You know, people like me, Static, and various others, we've kind of seen a process since Arsene Wenger left up until now, whereby we feel that the process should have banged much earlier or could have banged much earlier than it kind of has to a degree. Do you understand? And that's the reason why we're frustrated. That's the reason why we've said, you know what, Arteta out. Because it shouldn't take you over £1 billion, 6-7 years to actually win the Premier League with a team like Arsenal who have all the resources on the planet. Arsene Wenger done blood, sweat, and tears for this football club. How the hell are you telling me this guy needs 6-7 years to win a trophy or win the Premier League? Doesn't make any sense, you know. But when we have these conversations, and when I say whatever I'm saying, in some cases, I'm going to sit in the middle. I'm going to be a neutral, and I'm going to say, all right, this is how I feel, but this is how Arsenal feel. What do we do to come to a happy medium? What do we do? Because at the end of the day, we support the football club and the football club want us to support them. We want to win the Premier League, and I'm sure the football club want to win the Premier League. So what do we do? What the hell do we do? But the facts of the matter is Arteta isn't going anywhere. Now, does that mean I'm going to back Arteta and start singing Mikel Arteta? We've got Super Mikel Arteta and he knows exactly what we need? No. Never. Yeah, not even never. But this guy has to do an Arsene Wenger 2.0 before I start doing all of that. This guy has to win me the Premier League maybe twice before I even start singing that. You know, then way there. If he wins me the Premier League, though, would I back him? 100% back him. But would I go delusional with it? I don't think so. You know, then way there. And that's just the reality of what it is. So like I was saying, man, it's down to Arsenal, what Arsenal expectations are, what they feel they want to do, and so on and so forth. We can protest. We can have our say on the matter. Does it really change anything? I don't think so. All it does is kind of give us mental ill health. That's what it definitely does. It gives us mental health. That's what it does, bro. You know what I mean? The less money and the worse quality of players come in, the more likely the manager isn't secure and is leaving. Club won't put money into a person they want gone. If you want to sack someone, give them NOWT. I don't even know. We will eventually get 30 years without a title. Oh man. Come on, you'll actually lose your minds then. You know, like I said, this is the last season. There's no if, buts, or maybes. The reason why is because everybody has to have finally caught up. If you haven't caught up, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what you're on. I don't know what you're on. You're here for vibes. You're just here for the bants. You don't really care. You don't really care. If you care about your football club, this is the summer where our Edu needs to deliver and bring us in players, significant improvements that allow us as a football club and allow Arteta as a football club, as a manager, to go for the Premier League and have enough in the pot to go and get a domestic trophy as well. So look, that's where we're at now, man. That's where we're at right now. No difference. That is exactly where we're at right now. Another 3 years, but should have won, he's saying, giving mixed emotions to the fans. Yeah, because what they're basically saying is that they're ahead. Like what they're trying to do, you see with these things, see with all this PR, it's PR, right? It's PR. They are trying to manipulate the way a person thinks and what they feel and what they believe, okay? So when you put out stuff like the project is ahead of schedule, it's basically saying to the fans, don't worry, guys, we are actually heading in the right direction. How can you not be on board with this? The project's ahead of schedule, my guy. So all the dipshits will be like, oh yeah. And then they're invested. They're fully invested. You know, them way there. And then they say things like this, what Mikel Arteta said, oh yeah, based on the data, based on all the statistical evidence that we have, we should have won the league. You know, and I mean, he's true. It's facts. I mean, he's not lying. You know, you looked at that data, even for the season before last season, 93% at the top of the table and didn't win the league. That 93%, it's never been done before. So if you looked at that statistical data, that would have told you the same thing. I mean, like to a degree, big elite clubs would sack managers on the fact that you produced those numbers in the first season, but the second season you've more or less done the same thing. You just haven't fallen off the way you fell off the season before. But the numbers don't really differ. Do you know what I mean? So you start questioning whether you can actually produce more. And this is one of the reasons why you got the media telling Arteta, well, can you get more than 90? Or is it 90 that you need to get? And all these type of things. But when you're saying things like what Arteta has just said, again, you're planting that seed. You're telling people that we're on our way to where we want to be, basically. We're heading in the right direction. We should have won the league. So now what I'm doing is, okay, if we should have won the league and the statistical data told us we should have won the league, Edu, go out there and get me some bad boy signings. Mikel Arteta, this is the season, you win the league. Simple. It's that simple, bruv. It's literally that simple. Anyway, let's move on because I've been waffling for about 15 minutes on this subject, yeah? We're moving on because we've still got players to talk about here and I've only got about 10 more minutes to do it. So Mikel Arteta, obviously talking to the press, what he's saying is, what has he said? So Mikel Arteta on suggestions that Arsenal are looking for an attacking player to make a difference. He said, we are looking to improve in every possible department. Obviously, the Euros and Copa America are slowing everything down. Hopefully now it's going to pick up a little bit. That's what he kind of said to one of the questions. Mikel Arteta on how active he expects Arsenal to be in this transfer window. It's so crazy how they're using, I've been using the word activity. Like these guys are literally, we've got representatives watching this now, right now, whether it's guys in the media, whether it's guys at Arsenal. Yeah, you know, I've been putting pressure on Edu, and it's like, okay, I see guys online putting pressure on Edu. These guys mean business. Let's go and see what Edu and their man are saying. Let's go and ask the questions that the fans want to know. Let's go and ask, are you going to be active in this blood clot transfer window? Tell me now, okay? That's more or less what the question is. He says anyway, Arteta says, I think both ways. players arriving and players leaving. So he's saying we're going to be active. Players are going to be coming, and no, did he? And players are going to be leaving. You know, them way there. He says there are things that we have to improve. That is for sure, and we are going to try. But the market is tricky. And to be quite fair, listening to what is being said here, I feel like I'm hearing the same regurgitated shit from Mikel Arteta every single year. Proper talks like he's Keir Starmer. He's a part of the politics. He's a politician, of course. He always talks like a politician, bruv. I swear to man over. That KSE trained him. KSE trained him. They gave him some thorough media training. And it was questionable. It's questionable. This guy's a politician now. But yeah, he basically says they're going to improve. The market is tricky. We have been very aggressive, he says. I don't know about that, bruv. I really don't know about this aggressive stuff. Yeah? I don't know about this aggressive stuff. I ain't seen no real aggression in the market, blood. Every single player that we didn't want here is still here. Anyway, he says we are very determined and we have a clear idea. Oh, the clear plan is back. The clear plan is back, guys. Hey, guys, the clear plan's back. This one is a clear idea. It's different, slightly different, but more or less same meaning. There we go. Raya and Calafiori. Hey, we're starting to cook. We're starting to cook. I know there's some Arteta guys in the building that are feeling the heat. You know, they hate it when people start calling Arteta and Edu out. They start boiling in their socks, blood. And that's like boiling like an egg in a pot, bruv. I tell you. Like, literally. No, what do you mean? No, Arteta is doing a fantastic job. The plan is super clear. If you can't see it, it means you don't know nothing about football. Big out the gang. Big out the gang. Come on. 100 million is nothing today when the like of Chelsea are pay that alone for Mudryk. Arsenal highest paid tickets and merchandise. So we should be spending more and better. Exactly. Very, very true there, Ace. Yeah, very, very true. You know, we've got the highest season tickets. We've got the highest season tickets, or one of, and the merchandise has actually gone up. It's gone up by about 5%. It's gone up by 20% over the past, like, 2.5 years, bro. In the past 2 years, Arsenal merchandise has gone up by about 20%. Talk about inflation. Big up Troy. See ya. I'll see ya. The guys in there, they got to back Arteta and Edu. They have to back him. But they'll be on my side later on in the month when they realize that Edu can't sell any players. Give them 1 more year. I'm giving Edu to the end of the summer, bro. Arteta's got a year because he needs to manage games. Edu doesn't do anything in January anyway. So we can't even judge Edu on January. He doesn't do anything. So we are judging Edu on a summer transfer window. If Edu can't deliver this window, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, I'm talking about on all fronts. Yeah, we're talking about player sales. We're talking about big signings. If he can't deliver, then he has to go. He has to go. No if, buts, or maybes, man. But yeah, we're back again with a clear plan. It says, obviously, a clear plan, obviously, clear idea, obviously, of what we want to do. It will come down to finding the right agreements at the right time. So very interesting. So just to kind of repeat that, he says, we have been very aggressive, which I disagree with. He says, we are very determined, which is possible. And we have a clear idea, obviously, of what we want to do, which is a sentence taken from last year, the year before that, and the year before that. And it does say in the last part of this paragraph, it will come down to finding the right agreements at the right time. So that's interesting. So maybe there is, you've reached out to a couple of guys, Gyökeres perhaps, who a lot of people believe Arsenal will sign, and it hasn't been the right time to find the agreement for X, Y, and Z reasons, right? One of those reasons for Gyökeres could be the knee injury at the moment. One of the reasons for Gyökeres and Sporting Lisbon because of the other players that they're trying to sell or they want to sell as well. So they're kind of weighing things out. So the agreement could come into play, but at the right time, just like Arteta said there. Yeah, just like a real politician. Got to read between the lines. Yeah, you got to read between the lines and see what man's really talking about. Them way there. Letting Mikhail Birov go for 4 million is crazy. That is actually crazy. Mikhail Birov actually got a good goal record. I'm sure they would have should have coughed up some more money for him. He was playing in the Europa League last season. Europa League football. I'm sure the team that he played for just won the Austrian League. If they won the Austrian League and overthrew Salzburg, bro, what the hell? 4 million. 4 million doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. But yeah, that's what I'm hearing. He's gone for 4 million. Let me just quickly. I'm just double checking to see if that team actually won. Yeah, they won the league. They won the league. He only got 5 goals though. 5 goals in 15 games. Yeah, they won the league, boy. They won the league. Wow. Wow. No, see, when you put things into context and you start looking at the info, you start realizing that we do get finessed a lot, don't we? Like that is a finesse. That is a finesse. Big up whoever mentioned that in the chat. 4 million for Mikel Beria for a team that just won the Austrian League and overthrew Salzburg, who have an academy full of wonder kids. Boy, that's crazy. And you got 4 million for him, at least 10, at least 12. You know what I mean? Come on, man. But it's profit. It's profit, guys. Don't worry, it's profit. He come through the academy. It's profit. Edu better be cooking some good steak because he can't do anything else. That's what I'm saying. Okay, what else is being said here by Arteta about transfers? What else is being said here about transfers? What else has Edu said? Arteta said, sorry. Yeah, I think that's it in terms of transfers. The Calafiori news is Calafiori has been given the green light. Contract's done and dusted. Arsenal spoke to Bologna yesterday. The bid would have been accepted late last night. We're talking about 11 bells at night, bro. And yeah, that should be signed, sealed, and delivered by now. I think Edu might be ironing out all the final little bits and pieces right now. Go over to the weekend, snooze on it, celebrate. Come Monday, medical, Tuesday, done and dusted. Done and dusted for Calafiori. That's my kind of predictions, my expectations. It could be longer than that. You know, Arsenal like to drag things out. You don't want to give him a video. You know, they might send the videographer over there, jumps on the plane, wants to do all videos, and you know, wants to go home, edit it. Then he wants to reach out to the producer. He says he needs a new production, he needs a new beat for the video. It's like, bro, it could take days. It could take another 7 days. I don't know. Let's see what Arsenal do. We've been linked with Eden Zagrova. Now, I don't want this guy, man. Come on, bruv. Man like Eden. No. I'm not trying to fuck with this guy. He's a skillful player. He's got a lot of flair. You know, I do know that, but he's definitely not one of the guys that I would bring over. You know, I want top quality, bruv. Eden, you know, I mean, he can go and join, you know, what's a good platform? Brentford. Brentford's a good platform for him. That's the level. I don't want Brentford players, bro. I don't want Brentford players. Go and give me PSG players. Go and give me Bayern Munich players. Go and give me Real Madrid players. We need to take top quality players, bro. Or go to a team that have just done a madness this season and take their top quality players, like a Bologna. You know, Calafiori is a great example. Eden's been good. I mean, Eden's been good in the past. I mean, I don't think he's the guy now, though, man. What is he, about 25 years old, 26 years old as well now? Edu's had the perfect day for work. No barbecue today. He can play for Bournemouth and them, man. Go and cook under Andoni. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's who Eden, that's the level, man. Bournemouth and them lot. Come on. People getting it mixed up, man. Like even Darth Vader telling us about fucking Luton players. Bruv, keep Luton players, bro. We don't want them nowhere near Arsenal. They are not good enough. I swear, people go mental. Anyway, let's quickly move on to the last topic of discussion, ladies and gentlemen. There's my cue. There's my cue, man. Last topic of discussion, we're going to be talking about Xavi Simons. Xavi Simons. Oh no, I ain't spoke about no one. No, I have spoke about Kiwior. We done Kiwior, didn't we? I'm just looking at the topics now, like I've done Kiwior, haven't I? Yeah. All right, Xavi Simons is the last person that I do want to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. And it has been confirmed. It has been confirmed by a number of small publications. I wouldn't say that these guys are anyone special, but small publications have said that Arteta and Xavi Simons have spoke personally on the phone. Now, what's been said? What's been said? As Xavi Simons told Arteta that he wants to be a part of the project. When I was initially reading the article, I actually thought that's what it was kind of alluding to, but no, it's not. It's not. I'm afraid, guys, it's not. So what the article is alluding to is that they have spoken on the phone. Xavi does like the Arsenal project. However, he doesn't want to join Arsenal at this moment in time. What Xavi Simons has just now told Mikel Arteta about joining Arsenal this summer. What he has told Arsenal, according to what this article says and a few others, is that he doesn't want to come to the Premier League as of yet. He sees his future in Germany. Now, I'm not too sure how true this is, man. We can't take this as gospel. We could have Xavi in the bag. This could be a player that's in the bag. Mikel Arteta and Edu are keeping it under the carpet. And in the next couple of weeks, we hear more about it. I don't know. I would love for it to happen because Xavi Simons is one of my favorite players. Seeing how qualified he's actually been for Netherlands in the Euros. But the latest reports surrounding this one is that he's going to join Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich are going to be the team that come in for him, and they're willing to pay about £60 million for him. So I don't know. But yeah, Xavi Simons would definitely be a masterclass. That would be worthy of a couple of flowers for Eddie. Yeah, no Diddy team. We'll give him some flowers for Xavi Simons. You probably get a little flower for Calafiori. You get a little flower, but we want to give you flowers, Eddie, man. We want to give you flowers, man. But you got to deliver, bro. You got to deliver. You have to deliver, man. Big up all the real ones in the building. We much appreciate everyone that is locked in. Just under 200 people locked into this one, man. Much appreciate you guys. Keep hitting up the like button. All of that. I'm just going to read 3 comments till I'm gone again. Big up to Bias. He says, Darwin Núñez and the Tottenham brothers smokes that league, and look how dead they are. And I swear they were younger than Gyökeres. Risky, I think, especially after the knee operation. Well, Tobias, you've been listening to the channel for quite some time. If you're talking about Darwin Núñez, right, didn't get half of the goals. He got half of the goals that Gyökeres got. Half. Come on, bro. Half of the goals. And then let's be honest. Let's be fair to Darwin Núñez, yeah? Let's be fair to Darwin Núñez. Darwin Núñez for Liverpool, right? Darwin Núñez for Liverpool last season got 11 goals and 8 assists in 36 games in the league. So that was 19 GA in 36 games for Liverpool, right? Bearing in mind, he didn't get half the numbers that Gyökeres got. So if he can get that for Liverpool, in a Liverpool team that finished 3rd, imagine what you're going to do for an Arsenal team that control the ball, probably dominate possession more than Liverpool do, factual. And we can look at the data to suggest that would agree with that. And a player that's doing double the numbers of what this done in the same league. And then to give it more kind of encouragement and support is that Gyökeres actually played in English football, which Darwin Núñez never done before he played over for Benfica. So, I mean, come on, you're looking at the pros and the cons between both of those players, and I think a lot of it lies with Gyökeres. A lot of the pros lie with Gyökeres, mate. He is the guy for Arsenal, mate. He is the guy. He is way better than Darwin Núñez. Darwin Núñez' tech is dead. Darwin Núñez can't even touch he ain't even got a good first touch, bro. Darwin Núñez' first touch is crazy. You know, no way there. No beef, bro. Ski. Nah. There's never beef, man. It's never beef. Come on, I'm just fucking passionate. That's why people were scared to come on the channel, bro. People are scared. Shook. People are shook, bro. Shook. Soft ons. Too many soft ons. That's what it is, man. Too many soft ons out here. You know what I mean? I put man on edge. I have man edgy. Like, oh shit, what's Wax gonna do? Don't want to be around me. You get in trouble around me, blood. Trouble that you won't be able to get yourself out of. You know what I mean? You end up leaving the country and shit. You know what I mean? You don't want to be around me. It's challenging being around me, bro. Yeah. Anyway, I heard about the 30K fine as well, man. That's crazy. You know, Darwin Noodles is just Lukaku, bro. He's just he's the Uruguayan Lukaku. Facts. You know what I mean? The Vitiligo Lukaku, I'm hearing. Crazy. Anyway, guys, man, big up all the real ones. I much appreciate all the real ones, all the new subscribers as well. We are on the road to 20K, so please help us get there. I want to get there by the end of the summer, man. Like we're about 600 and something away, 600 and something subscribers away. That's easy peasy. Like that's literally one redirect. That's literally one redirect. Like I'm telling you, it's that easy. But for whatever the reason, the algorithm doesn't pick me up all the time, man. But yeah, make sure we hit the like button, do subscribe. It's the best way to obviously, you know, get the video out to more people. And yeah, guys, we will be back. Make sure you subscribe to the Wax Unfiltered channel. We're going to be doing a video. We're going to be looking at the investigation between this guy. What's his name? I forgot his name already. Jay? Is it Jay? Yeah, the guy that's gone missing in Tenerife. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Anyway, guys, hit the like button. All of that. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Peace.